Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Carruthers. I'm a coach, I'm a trainer. I work with leaders, I work in organizations, and I also work with small business owners, real estate agents. I work with really anybody that wants to empower their lives, motivate themselves, get themselves in action, and create powerful impact and value for others. So here I am today, and I wanted to talk to you about one thing I think is really important in having your own business. And even if you're an organization and it's not technically your business, it's how do you get to work? How do you get to work on the most important things that really bring in money, really bring in revenue, and get the customers lined up? So I wanted to introduce this idea of income producing activities. It is so easy as a business owner. I know myself, I've been in business now for about 24 years. And it's so easy to be really busy, but not always create the right results in our business. And for those of us that are making money for ourselves, we notice that in the bottom line. When we're not in the right activities, our bottom line suffers. So I wanted to bring this in today because I think it's such a simple and unique topic, but I didn't learn it until last year. I wish I had learned it a long time ago when I had started this because it would have made my journey a lot easier. So I'm going to pose the question to you like this. What are the activities that it takes to run your business? And since I'm working a lot right now with real estate agents and helping them develop their practices, I am deep in the information of helping a new agent get started. And so I'm going to use some examples from that today. I think you can bear with me and also transfer some of what I'm saying in this real estate world into the business world and whatever business that you're in, because this will all make sense. This is a very simple concept. Focusing on the income producing activities. So let's just talk about that. What are the things that actually create our business to work? We have to first start there, okay? And there's so many different pieces that we all need to make happen on a regular basis so that our business is healthy and functioning and growing. And I was just sort of brainstorming and I came up with a couple just to help this conversation. So setting up systems, for example, is one. Getting your CRM or client management system figured out, setting up systems around billing or getting invoices done or receiving payments, anything around that kind of system. Systems of organization that help you know checklists and protocols of what to do first, second, and then third. And then also like paying bills, that's something we have to do all the time. Staying on a budget, that's something we have to do all the time. Lead generation and follow-up, that's another thing we have to do all the time. Nurture relationships, that's another part of running a business, right? There's so many things, appointments that we have to take in front of the customer or in front of the product to make sure that the product gets into the customer hands. Marketing and social media, and sometimes those are the same thing, sometimes they're very different, just depending. And so that's another piece that we need to run our business. I'm just going to rattle off a couple. Anything that's like learning or researching just to keep ourselves in the know, knowledgeable, a good resource and of value to our clients. We also need specialization, like what really is our niche or a thing that we know the most about that we can really work with customers around. Staying accountable to ourselves, meaning how do we get ourselves motivated day after day after day without somebody in charge of us or being the boss or telling us what to do, right? So even if you're in an organization, so many leaders I work with do not technically have a boss. They have a role of responsibilities that they need to do, and it's a balancing and juggling act to figure out what comes first. So we all have to be able to hold ourselves and stay accountable. And then you have a pipeline, developing your pipeline for more to come in, for projects to get off your desk, for due dates to be done, whatever kind of a pipeline that you're dealing with. Or in the agent's terms, when are your closings happening? How often are you creating prospects actually into clients with closings? So what's the pipeline around that? And then even other ideas like presentations or building your networking. And then just plain asking for the sale. So all of these are just a few. In agents' cases, open houses is another one. And then different lead generation appointments or lead generation through maybe a CRM system, just depending. And these are all different things that it takes. Now you could say, Amanda, is that all it takes? Well, that's really, those are the most main categories that it takes to run any kind of business. And And I may have left out a couple, absolutely, but I wanted to just go through a list, right? And so all those things, all these things can really take up our time, and they can be distractions. They can take us in weird tangents. It's so easy to go down the hole of researching something, and then pretty soon it's a couple of hours later and you didn't really get anything done. You learned a lot, but you didn't get anything done. I know I fall into that all the time. So the piece here that I wanted to call out is, what out of that whole list is actually your income producing activity? What of those things that if you did them, they lead to direct money? And I think this is the distinction in figuring out what you really need to do versus what is nice to do. It's always good to learn, to have videos, to read books. Those are all wonderful things, but they don't necessarily bring cash into your business, or in a corporate position, they don't actually move the ball forward in your deliveries and your priorities. So I wanted to call out just a couple out of this list that would be income producing activities to just show you the difference. And once we know what these are, we can really make sure that these are in our daily to-do list, because this is what makes the business work. This is what makes the business run. So we have lead generation and follow-up. If you're not doing that every day, you're not going to get new business. Now that one can be a tricky one, because simply I could call several leads today and none of it would lead directly to cash, and some of those leads would not be turning into prospects. But that actual activity is the closest thing I can get to making a function of money happen. Another one is appointments. So I know for me in my coaching and training business, it's how many appointments can I actually get myself in front of the customer or the client and be in a coaching conversation with them so that they can really experience working with me. For agents, it's how many appointments can you meet to get a buyer or get a lister actually to sign with you, to sign a contract with you. Presentations about your company, your products, your sales, those presentations actually lead to money as well. So that's another income producing activity. And then asking for the sale. Most salespeople don't do this at the end, or when the time is right. They just kind of leave it out there, and they leave our client wondering if they should buy or not buy. So asking for the sale towards the end of the call or the conversation is really, really key. And it really does lead into having a true buyer. So out of this list, you can tell there's only just a few things: lead generation, follow-up, appointments, presentations, and asking for a sale, out of that entire list that truly leads to making money. Now, there are 4 things. If those 4 things are not on my daily schedule, then I'm not going to be making money for my business today. Now, if you translated this into the corporate role, think about what you're really getting paid for. And it's not just the description of your job. It's not your role that you're holding in the organization. It's actually, what do you need to do that makes the organization move forward, makes the business move forward, that's critical, that's the reason why you got hired. So it may not be the list of responsibilities. It may be one particular thing. It may be some area or product that you're actually looking over that is so critical. That's what your income producing activity is. Okay, so it can go either way, corporate or private. It doesn't matter. It's still the same concept. You want to look at when that activity happens, money happens, value happens, things move forward, happen. And I think it's important to make sure that we focus on those and drill into those first and foremost all the time, every day, apart from all the other stuff. Now, the other stuff can't be missed, but it fits in between when you're doing income producing activities. This is a very simple concept, but it's a little delicate in that you have to keep your eyes on the ball. You have to know exactly what makes your business run and what makes you successful, and plan for that as a majority in your week to really take your attention and your energy. The rest of it can just fill in. All right, I hope this has helped for you today. It's great seeing you all. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. If you haven't, go ahead and subscribe. I would love for you to be a part of my channel. And I look forward to talking to you all soon. Thank you very much.